It took me a long time to learn the greatest service I can do on the planet is be happy. That I used to try to, um, the shortcut is taking care of people. The marathon is being happy, genuinely happy. Because when you're genuinely happy, two things. Happiness is contagious. Happiness is just as contagious as misery is. And so I want to have the happiness contagion. And every one of us knows that feeling. You have to have had it once. I know I have, of just being like freaking down. And somebody just will not buy into my down. They just won't. And they aren't like rude, but they're just uplifting. They're just uplifting. And suddenly there's an inspiration or a fullness or something just begins to penetrate my misery. So, but they aren't trying to necessarily cheer me up. They just are that. And I used to discount that. I thought people were happy because we're weak. In college, I was very, very Sartre and Sexton, Sylvia Plath, and dark eyeliner. I still have eyeliner, but the highest practice that we can offer the world. And then once we have that, that's the ground, then the expression becomes intelligent. I don't think you can make an intelligent choice that doesn't come from joy, because joy is the experience of reality. Reality is this totality, right? You're connected to all things. That experience of being connected to all things, the experience of that, of the realization of that, is joy. That's the upwelling of joy. So then, in order to see how all things want to be, in order to contribute skillfully, you have to be connected to all things, right? Like, when we went into prisons, and the question wasn't, what do I want to do for you? The question was, what does this want? What does this desire? Well, only joy is big enough to break through my imposing of ideas about the way things should be. And so we could begin to listen to the incarcerated people themselves. We could, the system itself, we could begin to listen in a way that it becomes what it wants to be. But you have to have your feet firmly rooted in the totality to be able to see things on terms that are different than yours or how you would have them. Like, to be able to stand in a place where you can love and appreciate and, give honor to systems that have come before religions and government expressions and such, and then concurrently love the future potentials, and that you don't have to cut off or dismiss anything. In fact, when you do that, you cause harm. Anything you cut off, you're harming that. But not only are you harming that, you're harming what you're trying to help, because you don't have the full understanding of that. How do you do that? Well, I would say you keep your feet in joy. So that's my work. That is for sure my work. That is my work from the moment I wake up. That is my work throughout the night. That is my work. And that is my work. And then the other thing I'll say, this is just a little like oming trick that has to do with your aperture and the ability to pull the lens out every now and again, or to go in close. But you pull it out, like last night, that's what happened in that moment. I pulled the lens out and I was like, this is freaking cool. This makes an amazing story. I mean, I wouldn't mind if parts of my story weren't in it, but what a stunning creation environment. This is amazing. But that's only because I could pull the lens out and see the overall picture. But sometimes it's also pulling the lens in really close and being able to see, for, I'll use Maya again as an example, because I remember the first time I saw Maya's art, I don't know how old you were, maybe 24 at the time. And she did this, she said, come here, come here. And so she brought me to her room, and then she had projected, was it Desire? Was that she had this projector on the other building, and it said Desire, and it was all of these images that she had projected onto the wall. I remember thinking, this woman is talented. And then, in the particulars, I get to see the various experiences and expressions. So I don't notice how it's grown. And then all of a sudden, she does the documentary, and you're like, wow. So I think it's also that ability.